welcome. This is a class just for mum. So sorry little bubbers, but granny or daddy or nanny or poppy are going to have to entertain you while mummy gets to move a little bit. It's really important that we take the time to have some space. And I know that that's not always easy because you're either feeding or there's a feed coming. There are many reasons, or you've just got a small window while baby's asleep. So knowing that time is very precious, we'll get straight into it. Do what you can. If you become too tired, come into child's pose. And if you don't get all the way through this video today, that's fine. You know, you just come back to it another time. So let's begin. We are going to just come onto all fours and into child's pose. Now your arms, instead of being out in front, just wrap them around by your body. The knees can be nice and wide and the forehead to the earth. And we're just going to honour our bodies and our minds and our souls and everything that we are in this moment. And this huge shift and pace of life, these beautiful new bodies. Just honouring all of the emotions that we are being met with, some of them which are very foreign to us right now. And just letting that forehead press into the earth, and maybe even just letting the head drop from left to right here. Just a little massage into the mind. From left to right. And then finding that stillness once again. Slowly breathing in, filling up that belly, pressing on top of the thighs, and then letting that exhale drop you a little deeper into the earth. Big breath in. And that beautiful breath out as we arrive. We're going to take our arms forward and just take our gaze forward, stretching the arms, walking the fingertips towards the top of the mat, and then moving on to our elbows. So the elbows are going to sit roughly underneath the shoulders and just swaying the body gently from left to right. Just reacquainting ourselves with these hips that might feel a little bound up. We're warming up through the lower back and the spine, and then some pelvic circles. So we're tucking the pelvis under and rotating it around. If you need to adjust your body and then the other way, please do. Really, this is just a big release into the spine and hips. So moving your body in a very organic way. You might even like to come up onto hands and knees now and just move into shoulder, into a figure eight, or kind of organic movement. It doesn't have to look like anything in particular, just moving. And then finding your way a little towards the back of your mat here. We're going to come into puppy pose. So the hips are going to sit on top of the knees. And we pull our hearts towards the earth, resting the elbows on the ground, and then again finding your forehead here. Now if that's a little bit too intense, walk the hands and the arms in, and you can stack the hands on top of one another. This is a beautiful posture for releasing through the shoulders and opening that heart space. You can bring in your palms together and moving into a praying child. So we press the palms together again, opening through the shoulders. Belly drops towards the ground. And we take the hands underneath now. I'm going to move into a dolphin plank from here. So popping your forearms on the floor And we're going to interlace the fingers together. Lengthening the right leg back and then the left leg back. Now, planks are one of the best ways to rebuild that core strength. However, mindful that we're all at different points in our strengthening here. So if you're still feeling that you need to work on it, excuse me, come to your knees. Otherwise, bringing the knees up off the ground. And if anything, keeping the hips high than low. So keep pressing the earth away from you. We're going to hold here and breathe. Press the heels towards the back of your mat. You'll feel the belly engaging. There might be a little shaking going on. Remember, please rest at any time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your knees to ground and giving yourself that little resting child's pose. And this restorative posture is home. You know, you come back to this home base anytime. Even when you're having one of those days with your baby, just drop into child's pose. So tucking the toes, moving into downward dog. The fingers are nice and wide, but pressing the finger pads, the knuckles and the palms into the earth. And we take it back into downward facing dog. So feel free to pedal out the feet here, lengthen through the spine, nice and easy in the head and the neck. And bring the right leg up into three-legged dog. So it doesn't need to be super high. If anything, try and keep the hips nice and even. Take a breath in. On the exhale, we're going to bring the knee towards the nose and place the foot in between the hands. Now, it takes a little bit of core strength to do that. So if you're not quite there, bring the foot halfway, take your hand around the ankle and bring that foot forward. And we're in a runner's lunge here. So right knee on top of right ankle, take your gaze forward, press the left heel back. So we're still nice and strong in both legs. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, we come back into downward facing dog. Bring the left leg up, three-legged dog, and that little transition. So either dropping the foot or bringing the foot all the way forward. And over time, you'll notice a big difference if you practice, you know, once or twice a week. Anytime you can, each time you practice, you gain strength. So left ankle and left knee stack. Press that right heel back towards the back of your mat. Broaden through the collarbones. Take a big breath in. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Now rising high to your toes, we're going to roll forward all the way onto our knees. Then bring the chest and chin down to the earth, hugging the elbows in. Bring the legs back, top of the feet press into the earth, pubic bone presses into the earth. Shoulders roll back for cobra. Exhale, down to the ground. And we're going to come back into our downward facing dog. So just take it really mellow on those little chaturanga sequences. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale again, we bring that foot forward. This time we're going to take the left knee to the ground, untuck toes, and we lift the arms high. So Anjanasana, pressing the right foot firmly into the earth and taking the arms behind, finding your fingers in your palms and opening that chest up. Now we bring that front foot back towards the body without moving it, and we bring that left knee forward. So the legs are scissoring towards one another. Opening through those collarbones, so good. And then we lift the arms high and bring the right hand to the hip. So finding length through the left side body, and we take ourselves over into a nice little side stretch. Take a breath in, lengthen, and exhale, reach over. Come back through center, hands to earth, and downward facing dog. Bending into the knees. Take the left leg high, and again making your way forward, remembering to go at a level that you need to go at today. And we rise, Anjanasana. Just settling into that big groin stretch, pressing into the earth with that left foot and drawing the heel and the knee towards one another. Bringing the arms behind, pressing palms together and opening up through the chest. Big breath in. Exhale, pull the hands away from the glutes so you're opening up through the chest. And then bringing left hand to left hip, lift up through right arm, and over we go. Stretching through the sides, so you take a breath in and over. Coming back to frame that front foot into your downward facing dog. Now either staying here or coming to your knees for child's pose if you need to rest. Otherwise coming onto your knees, slowly lowering down on the exhale, and then the exhale continues as we take our chin and chest to the floor. Legs long behind, inhale for cobra, pressing the top of the feet into the earth, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big long breath in, exhale belly towards thighs. Remember, rest if you need to. Inhale and let the breath go. Just enjoying this time and space to yourself. Right foot rises and we bring that foot forward. Taking that left knee to the ground. Now untucking toes, we're going to step the left hand out, maybe just beyond your mat, or actually so on your mat, just to the edge of your mat, and walk this right foot to the corner or the edge of the mat over here. I'll get that, get that right. So we're going to press the hand into the knee and open up the chest. So we're in a little twist here, or a twisted lizard. Now you can either just stay here, or if you have the space, reach behind, grabbing the top of the foot for a pose called Twisted Monkey. And it's pretty intense, so just take it easy. If you are here, remember, just softly does it with our bodies. And release. Take the hands back inside of the foot and press back into downward facing dog. Left leg rises and we bring the foot in between the hands. Right knee to the ground. Remember, we walk the foot over to the edge of the mat and walk our hand to the edge of the mat. Option here to press the knee away from you and spiral the chest into that twist, which is a beautiful pose in itself. Big breath in and exhale. Option, of course, to catch that back foot for a big quad stretch. But please, I can't stress enough, just little by little. It's just there if it's available to you. Fill up on that inhale and exhale, hug the heel in or stay as you are. And release. We're going to go back into our downward facing dog. And optional flow here. So roll it forward onto the knees, slowly exhaling. The exhale takes us to the earth. Take the legs behind, inhale cobra, taking it easy on the lower back. So really press that pubic bone into the ground. And then have a little rest in your child's pose, knees wide. And hips back towards the heels. Take a full big breath in. And settle as you exhale. You might feel that heart rate's elevated a little bit. And you keep it moving. I feel like my mat's traveling a little bit, and it might have. Back into your downward facing dog.
Bending those knees, sending those hips back, belly to thigh. All right, we're going to take the right leg high again. Exhale, finding that foot towards the top of your mat in any way that you can, and turning towards the left-hand side of your mat, the long side of your mat for Prasarita Padottanasana. So the heels spin out a little bit, the toes spin in. Placing your hands just underneath your shoulders and just letting the spine drape here. The legs are engaged, so pressing firmly into the ground. Legs all the way out to the glutes and nice and strong. Inhale, lengthen halfway, and exhale, fold. Again, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Let's go one more. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Now we're going to take the left toes towards the left-hand corner of the mat and bend into the knee. Now I'm not mirroring you with this one, so this is the left leg. I'm going to take the left arm just underneath that knee and place the hand next to the foot. Sweeping the right arm over and keeping this right foot planted firmly into the earth. So reach, reach, reach over. You get this beautiful stretch through the whole rib cage and arm. Big inhale. Keep anchoring weight into the right foot as you exhale. Come back towards the top of your mat. Finding your way back into your downward facing dog, please. Take a moment here as you settle in. Lift your left leg high and find it to the top of your mat. Again, we are going to spin towards the wall now, or towards the right hand side of your mat, and just settle in here. Take a half lift and fold. So pressing firmly into the earth, the heels are spun out a little. Big breath in and exhale, fold. Final one, lengthen. Stay for that breath out. Spin the right toes towards the right corner, bend into the knee and place the hand with the elbow bent next to the foot. Reach the left arm across, so really sweeping it across. Beautiful big stretch. Keep pressing the left foot firmly into the earth. Big inhale. And stay for that exhale. Getting into those side seams. And we make our way back to the top of our mat with an option here to do that little vinyasa or just have a moment to rest. So take a big breath in, very slowly lower to the knees, all the way to the ground. Legs long behind you, inhale and exhale back into child's pose. And just rest here for a moment. No, resting is just as important as exercising, if not more. And again, finding your way back onto all fours. We're nearly done with our down dogs. Nearly. All right, right leg rises. Take the foot in between the hands. Now we're moving into a high lunge. So we're off the back heel and up we rise. Letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. A little bend in that left leg as you press the heel back. This right leg is my structure. It's lovely and strong. Take a breath in and then exhale, hand to the inside of the foot for a nice easy twist. Reaching that right arm up. Maybe option to a little half bind. Again, all options for 3, 2, 1. Hand goes down, back into downward facing dog. When you're ready, left leg rises, and these are all really good core strengtheners, these little transitions, even if you only get to here and you have to take the foot forward. You know, they're all strengthening you. Little bend in the knee, press the heel back, firm belly, lift up, stay for the breath out. A little smile on your face. Take the right hand to the inside of the foot as you work your way into your easy twist. Your gaze can be just towards the wall, the foot, or all the way up to the hand. Option to even go into a little bind. For 3, 2, and 1. Hand to the ground and downward facing dog. Take a breath in and lower gently down to the floor. Go super, 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 super slow. I'm going to make our way onto our feet and into tree pose, Vrksasana. Beautiful pose for focus and poise. Really good for strengthening legs and belly too. So pouring weight into the left foot, we'll take the right foot to the inner thigh. And this time, you can mirror me. So pressing the sole of the foot into the upper thigh, taking hands towards the heart, opening that right knee out and lengthening through the spine. Softening the face and taking your gaze to one little point there out in front of you. It's always an option to take the tree high. Now, if having the foot up here is too challenging today, take it low. Just avoid the kneecap. Strength and poise and grace in all this craziness of motherhood. Press that big toe into the earth for stability. If you fall out, you fall out. I'm a bit wobbly today too. Timber. And we go on to the other side. So remember your options. Calf or all the way up into the groin. Just avoid that knee. We'll look after our knees. So open the knee, press the big toe into the earth, starting with your hands to your chest, your sternum if you need a little stability, or you can open your branches out. And just taking your focus to one little spot on the floor. Shoulders down away from the ears, opening that knee. Keep pressing the foot into either the thigh or the calf. For 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Beautiful. And come down onto our knees here. Bringing the right foot forward. And we're going to move into a little low side angle pose. So the right toes are facing to the top of your mat and the left knee is right under the hip. Let's take our elbow to our knee and reach over into a version of Postnatal. Taking your gaze to your toes or your hand, or side plank pose. Side angle pose. Something didn't sound right. Side angle pose. I'm getting my asanas all up the asana. Lengthening through the side body. And then we're just going to swap it over. So right knee to the ground. We set up with the left knee on top of the ankle, toes pointing to the top of the mat, elbow to thigh. And reaching over. Postnatal. That's the one. Side angle pose. Open the chest. Press the foot into the ground and reach over. Really nice, subtle stretch for the groin here. And of course the chest and side body. Take a big breath in. Reach over. And up we go. So a little bit of a cool down now. We'll work into pigeon pose. So bring the right knee behind the right wrist, sweep the foot underneath the body to the left-hand side of your mat and lengthen that left leg back. Now, if you needed a cushion, you can always pop a cushion underneath your right glutes. And if this is horrendous on your knee and it feels horrible, we're going to go onto our backs, take the right ankle on top of the knee and hug that knee in. So there are two options for pigeon pose, because sometimes our knees just don't like being on this angle and we come down towards the earth. Having a cushion underneath that right glute can really help as well. Take a big breath in and stay for that exhale. Really let those hips sink into the earth. Awesome pose for so many reasons. It's a lovely forward fold as well as a hip opener. A little time for some much needed introspection. And very gently we walk the hands back in towards the body. Now, we're going to take that left leg and sweep it around. Now, if you're on your backs, you're going to come back up into a seated position as we take our ankle over towards the left knee. If your knee is unhappy, lengthen it and have that left ankle to the outside of the knee. Ardha Matsyendrasana, Lord of the Fishes. So we take the left arm down, off to the side, take the right arm up, the elbow and the knee meet, take a breath in, find that length, and then exhale as we gently encourage ourselves into that twist. Take a full breath in and enjoy that beautiful release on the exhale. Really settle into it. Finding that length as you inhale and then settling in as you exhale. Coming back through center, and we're going to sweep the right arm across. So we're just doing an open twist now. So the inside of the elbow to the inside of the leg, inhale and exhale. Nice open twist. Just balancing things out. Big breath in and we stay for the breath out. Coming back through center. Let's go back into an all fours position and do the other side. So remember the pigeon variation if you need it. Sweep the leg under, lengthen that right leg back, and once you settle in, just checking in that that leg's nice and straight. We come down onto our forearms. Always popping a pillow underneath that left glute if you need it. Big inhale. And surrender into that exhale. I love nothing more than bringing a little rock to this posture. So soothing. And even if you are on your back, it's still a really accessible, beautiful stretch for exactly the same areas. It's just not so hard on your knees. As we surrender, just really enjoy this time and space that we have to ourselves, even if it's fleeting. And walking the hands back up, take your time. We'll come into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So if you're on your back, if you don't mind joining us, and remember you can release that lower leg if you need to, just to get a little pressure off the knees. Sweep the right arm across, left arm lengthens. Elbow and knee meet, take a breath in, and then find your way into your twist. So lovely for releasing some of that core work that we've done, particularly in our chaturanga sequence. Now low planks and cobras. Finding that length as you inhale and settle as you exhale. Come into that easy twist.
Take a breath in and then spiral into that lovely easy twist on the exhale. And back to center we go. And just before we come onto our backs, we are going to flex our toes towards our face. Lift up through the arms, a little bend in the legs is fine for Paschimottanasana. So you can take your peace fingers to your toes, or if you're unable to bend very far forward, take your hands to the floor. So we're just trying to encourage our belly to our thighs rather than rounding. We don't want to do that. And we want to pull our heart towards our feet. So the motion is to take a breath in and lengthen, and then pull the heart towards the toes on the exhale. Take a big breath in. And exhale, heart to feet. Staying for one more cycle of breath. And slowly we make our way onto our backs. On one round of bridge pose, so hugging the heels in towards the glutes. And the rule of thumb is that the fingertips just touch the tops of the heels. Now the feet are hip distance apart, and the knees don't come out, nor do they knock in, so they really stay hip distance apart. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, start to lift up the hips. Now you can either stay here with the hands on the floor and the chin tucking towards the heart space, or you start to walk the shoulder heads towards each other, interlacing the fingers and pressing the hips high. Take a long, slow breath in and keep pressing into the floor, lifting the hips as you exhale. The glutes are engaged, legs are engaged. Inhale. And then very slowly we start to unravel from the top of the spine. Slowly does it all the way down to the tailbone. Let the feet go wide and let the knees simply just knock in. So we release into the lower back. And hopefully you've already felt yourself start to unravel. This spaciousness that you can create in your body through the practice of yoga. It's going to shuffle back a little bit, so taking the right knee in, shifting the hips over a little bit, and then over towards the left. You can place the hand on top of that knee, maybe little cactus arms, and taking your gaze towards the opposite way if that feels okay on the neck. Big full breath. And stay for that exhale. And slowly making your way back up. Shift everything back into alignment. Hug the left knee in. Shift over to the left, and then the knee comes over the body. A really nice twist to do before bed as well, or if you can, first thing in the morning. It's great for releasing all through the lower back. A little compression into our organs of digestion and elimination as well. And then ever so slowly, we make our way back up through center. If you'd like to just hug the knees in for a moment towards the chest, or maybe even just a brief little inversion in happy baby. Another option here, if you're at home with a wall handy, is to also bring your legs directly up a wall. Look a little bit like this. This is just a nice way also to send Shavasana if you have the time. Feels awesome. Nice little inversion. So there are a couple there to choose from. I'll let you choose, and you can chop and change it if you need to, if you want to, as you practice this episode and get stronger and a little bit more
a little bit more savvy in your yoga practice, just choosing what works for you on any given day. You can amp it up or you can dial it down. And Shavasana. So mamas, I want you, if you can, to stay here for as long as you are able. If you can, have a little rest, pop a blanket over you or place a bolster underneath your knees. And take the feet wide, take the hands a little away from the body. Take a big, long, slow breath in. Open the mouth and completely let it go. Feels so good. Maybe another couple before you find that stillness. Really relaxing deeply into the floor. Relax your toes, relax your feet. Notice where the heels meet the earth and the direction in which your feet have fallen. Relax your calf muscles and your glutes. Relax your upper back. Relax the back of the hands, the wrists, forearms, all the way to the shoulders and the collarbones. Soften your throat. Relax the hinge of your jaw. All the skin on your face, the forehead, and even the hairs on your head. And just honouring this quiet and this space that you have given yourself permission to have. And good on you. So dear yogis, if you can, please continue to stay here. And if you are needing to move and head off to a feed or relieve a carer, just coming back into an easy seat with your eyes closed. And I just want to say congratulations for honouring your needs, to have some time. And it's really important that, like I said, we look after ourselves when we are feeling that need to just move or have some time alone. You know, if you can, just get someone to help out. It's such a powerful tool. Even a short amount of time can really change your outlook and how you're feeling. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, mamas. Much love.